Hello, my name is Trydar. Welcome to the 10,000 subscriber special. And to celebrate this, we are here in my very first world. And, well, no, that's not technically true. This is actually my third world. My first world was a desolate snow mountain biome with nothing in it whatsoever, so I thought it was a mistake. So I deleted that, and I made a second world. In that world, I made my very first dirt hut, and then I made a more fortified dirt hut. And then I decided that I had had enough of playing in survival, so I went looking for answers, and I figured out how to turn on creative mode. It was everything I had ever wanted. All of my building dreams had come true in a moment, and I went looking around for a suitable place to build my first castle. But I did not find it in that world, so I deleted that world, and I made this world here. And all this took place over the course of like a day or two. So this is like my second day of playing when I made this world, and I didn't have to hunt for very long before I found this spot right here. And it was what I wanted, which was an isolated hilltop with greenery around it. We had some rivers and some forest and everything, a couple of plains. It was pretty good. So I decided that this was indeed the spot, and I began building my first castle right here. And after that, it was day after day, I spent furiously and obsessively block placing for this main castle here that you see. And then it wasn't very long before I had finished the castle, and I thought, well, I really need to expand it. So after that, I made myself a wizard's tower over here and expanded the castle out in this direction with a couple of more walls into a lower bailey over here. This is also the place that I made my very first arch, or at least I tried to make an arch. I was trying to get a very rounded effect with the stone bricks here. I don't think it came out that great. But for my first arch, it wasn't too bad. And then after that, I expanded out over in this direction with some more walls. We eventually added an aqueduct. We'll take a look at that later on. And the last thing I was doing at this castle over here in this world was I was filling in the swamp and expanding this area here out with these walls and everything, enclosing this small chapel that I made down here. But when I was doing this, I didn't know anything about Minecraft back then, so I was puzzled as to why the grass was like this very ugly camouflage color down here, and I didn't know that this was just the staining that was being done by the very ugly swamp biome. I had the misfortune to pick a spot that had a swamp close to it, and that was very troubling. But I did eventually figure that out. There are several things in this world. We're going to go kind of slow on this because it is my first world, and I don't really want to do a surface level tour. So we're going to get in the weeds on this, and later on, as a surprise, I'm actually going to. I still have it. I'm going to show you my very first Minecraft episode. It's going to be sandwiched in the middle of this somewhere when we get to a decent point for that. But this is one of those videos that I'm going to kind of ramble on and show you everything that I remember in this world. And it's going to be as long as it needs to be. So in here is my Great Hall, my very first Great Hall. It's really small, actually. I don't know if you can kind of call it a bit of a hall, not really a great hall compared to what I build these days anyway, but we did have a makeshift chandelier and things in here, and my very first throne chair. A couple of lapis blocks, and some stone bricks here. Not too shabby. But even at this early stage, I was trying to make some pillars on the sides here and do things structurally. You can see up here, we do have a bit of a ceiling with some beams going across it there. We have a door that doesn't work. We do have another door out here, though. I did figure out how to do a 2x3 piston door at some point in the past. It's about the extent of my redstone knowledge, but I even labeled it as the emergency high keep lockdown gate when we needed to come in here and hide from people attacking our castle. We could do so down here, of course, so we also have down here a death pit. And up here as well, we do have a couple of traps that we can go take a look at that now, actually, while we're here at it. So over here, we do have a number of levers. Let's see, what do these levers do? So this one was watery death. And of course, this lets down a bucket of water down into the passageway we came through. drowning whoever was going to be attacking us. We do have another lever over here called Fiery Death, which you would expect. But of course, that is lava. Spilling out down there as well. And what was this over here? Main keep lockdown. I don't remember what that did. I think it locks that main gate down there also. And we do have a mystery lever over here. And I'm pretty sure this does absolutely nothing. I labeled it mystery lever because I had to have 4 levers to make it nice and symmetrical. But I didn't remember to add anything to that. So the mystery lever does absolutely nothing. But we can crawl in the walls here. There are interior passageways in all of these walls. And if we crawl up around through here, there should be a place to get back up into the courtyard. No, there are a lot of little rooms here. Here we go. So this takes us back up to the main walls. Around our castle there, everything we just took a look at is right down there in the gate tower. Of course, our tower has, our castle has 6 towers, a gate tower, of course, a main hall that we took a look at, and also a main keep up here as well. Has a couple of ways to get down through here. It's my first attempt to install a corkscrew staircase. Down here, of course, we had my bed that I attempted to construct. Over here, of course, my actual bed was over here. In my library over there. But if we go down through here a little bit, I seem to remember that I did do some decoration back here with some very bad Minecraft paintings. Back here as well. I did try and fill in the keep when this will make sense later when you see my first video. We do have some more decorations down here. Now all of this you're seeing here was built way back in 2013. So this is over 8 years ago. I think about 8 years and 4 months if memory serves. So it's very basic as to how things go. And remember, this is my first world. Already lost. We got another emergency lockdown door here, which means that our throne is right in front of that here. So we can retreat back into our keep if they start storming the main halls in here. Of course, down here in the Bailey, we do have a couple of things. We've got some stables over here. I did have some horses in here at some point, but they've long since despawned and whatever update killed those. Back here we have the Royal Gardens, which is just a little garden area I was trying to make with some fountains and things back here. A nice little pleasant pool of water. My cat would be around here somewhere if he had survived with the horses, but I'm pretty sure he's gone too. So we are missing him. Over here, I tried to add in another little fountain over there. And what was this? Royal Treasury. What was in the Royal Treasury? I think this was supposed to be a bank. Over here, actually. Remember what I stored there. Over here, we do have sort of a little lounge to take a rest in up here. That's connected to the walls. Struggling to remember exactly where everything is around here. It's another fountain. And what was back here? The Royal Library, of course. And as you would expect, it's filled with tables and books. Exactly what you would find in a royal library. But that is the nucleus of the main castle itself. If I remember, there are some small drains back here at the back, which if you are intrepid enough, you can explore. There's not a whole bunch to see underneath there. The underground in this world isn't that extensive. I mostly did all of my building above ground. You can still see the remnants of the extreme hills over here that I used to build the castle on. That's why it's so much elevated. Over here is an extension that I did to the castle. We can see, actually, right here, my very first attempt at doing a Greek temple or a Roman-style temple. This has stairs on a couple of sides, so it's a bit of a hybrid. It's got stairs, so it could be a Greek temple, but it's also crammed up against the wall, which would technically make it a Roman temple. I think the roof is also asymmetrical, too. It goes over this way as far as the other way, so that's not very good. But in here, you can see I was trying to make a nice classical facade, but it got clipped off by, I think this was a mill building over here, if memory serves. Yes, let's drop down over here real quick. So here we have my attempt at a water wheel. Got a sign here to let you know that it should be going and turning around. It's a very blocky water mill. Burstone mill in here. My attempt in here to make some gearing to make the mill actually functional. We have the millstone up here and everything. I need to do a better mill at some point. That is on my list to do. I want to do a nice medieval mill with all the gearing and everything. But make it actually, a lot better than that. Here's one of the first fountains that I built. Down here, freestanding. Very basic fountain. In here, though, we can see that I think you can agree that my ability to build Greek and Roman temples has improved a little bit since this particular build here was made. And I called this the Royal Museum in here. So it's where I put my enchanting table and some more books. Nothing too much to see in there, but around there I did try and make some very small houses back here against the wall. As you can see, everything in here is entirely made out of stone bricks and spruce and is not decorated. Indeed, this entire world here, I mean, it's 2013, remember, the entire world is, for all intents and purposes, stone bricks and spruce. It was my favorite block at the time, and I used nothing but stone bricks in pretty much everything that I did. Over here, we do have my first attempt at making actually a Roman bath beside our temple over there. So I think we can agree that perhaps my newer Roman bath is a bit more advanced than this. We do have just a couple of pools of water here and there to give you an idea of that. Of course, it's very bad layout for a Roman bath, but this is my first attempt up here to try and do some arches and rib vaulting for the space. It's extremely bad. I think these days we can do a lot better than that. Over here we have, you'll understand this whenever you see my first video later. But this was an enchanted lake. Supposedly a lady lived in that lake. And I squared it off and built around it instead of just getting rid of it when I made this extension to the castle over here. Out here, though, this is one of the first structures I built that was far away from this castle. What did I call this thing? Light's Hope Chapel. I was also playing World of Warcraft at the time, so I stole that name from there. And over here, this is actually my very first subscriber graveyard. You might recognize this. I have a similar thing now that I do in my Norath world, where if you request a tomb in that particular world, you can have one in Freeport there. But here, this concept extends all the way back to my first world, all the way back in 2013, because I wanted to give people a way that they could sort of like feel like they were a little bit invested in the series. And I made all these gravestones here, and I said whoever wanted a grave could have one. And let's see. Count Duckula. Uh-oh. It looks like he has risen from the dead. That's not good. But we do have a couple of graves around in here. Of course, my friend Ventruse. And one of my first commenters, the Sherwood Project. Haven't heard from him in a long time. Now, there should be a lot more signs around here, but for some reason they're not present in this version. I think that a lot of these signs were wiped out whenever the entities were purged. It looks like some of the early signs survived, but some of the later signs didn't for some reason. Let's take a look in our chapel here, though. Of course, we just have a very basic chapel here. stone bricks and spruce. Very simple, 2013 design. Way back then. What did I have up here? Beware of the moat monster. You've been warned. Oh, okay. Well, there used to be a moat around the castle over here. But that was filled in when I decided to add this expansion. Of course, as you can see, this expansion here was never finished. The towers are still empty down here and everything. But I was going to extend the moat out here instead because I wanted to just have a bigger and more expanding castle everywhere because, as you know, I'm sort of a compulsive builder, so I have to keep building something. This was the only world I had at the time, so I just kept building things on it. Over here, stretching off in this direction, we can see an early prototype for an arched bridge. Modern examples would be my Roman bridge tutorial. I think look quite a bit better than these. But let's take a journey north for a moment. Across one of the roads here, and I just did all these roads just bang straight from the castle with the various types of bridges. Just with a double cobblestone wide road over here, straight to this desert. Of course, when I got to this desert, I mean, what else would you do in a desert? I immediately started building pyramids. And I think I started with this one over here. This small pyramid. I was trying to do my road straight through the desert here. It was going to run into those extreme hills over there, though. And I don't think I put an interior in this. Nope. So it is just a shell. I was not about to fill that in solid. Even though I was in creative mode at the time, it would still take too long. But I did try and build a bigger pyramid over here. I was going to encase the entire thing in quartz stairs, like you see done here. But even in creative mode, I mean, placing all of these stairs, you can see I didn't finish that. We just did the smaller pyramids and the cap of that one over here. And then I kind of got bored with this, and that was abandoned. And we returned back to our castle over here. Of course, back in those days, render distance was much smaller, so that this seemed a lot further away than it appears now. We do have a small road over here. This is when I stopped doing straight roads, and I started to try and make them meander over the terrain to make them appear a little bit more organic. We have a couple of markers out there for things that I don't remember what was going to be out there. I never built that. Out here, though, if memory serves, we should have the True Shot archery range. So I came out here and I wanted to practice my my bow skills. So I made some various difficulty, I thought, of targets back there. Of course, this is way before we had the target block down here. So I just had some chiseled stone bricks and I was trying to hit that with my bow. And there was just a small building back here for that. I did find a down here somewhere, I think there should be a mine shaft down below this building that I found. I didn't do much down there, though. As I said, the underground of this world is fairly undeveloped. But when I was heading out over, after I built that, I turned my attention over here later. And all this was forest, but I cleared it out, and I was going to start leveling it down and everything. Like you see done here. And this is because what I wanted to do was extend the castle even further over here, make a really big city, and over here we were going to have a nice large port area over here in this section that faced out into the large ocean over here. This is in the days when Minecraft still generated continents and large oceans with nothing in them, so there's a beginning of a large ocean over there. And I really missed that kind of generation, actually. I wish Minecraft would generate discrete continents again. But over here, we do have, you can see, we've got a square area. I was going to extend the walls over here and start with that. And I was placing down some dirt and clearing that out and filling stuff in to figure out where things were going to go. Over here, though, let's take a look at this large expansion area. This is the most complete expansion I did. For reference, here is our main castle right here. And from one of the gates, of that from what used to be the front gate back down here. Of course, I added some more streets and filled in a bunch of stuff. And I think I did try and make another Great Hall over here, which was bigger than the first one. It's not too bad. I mean, well, it's actually really bad, but it's better than the first one. So we have some banners hanging down from the ceiling, some columns on the side here, of course a big table in the middle, another throne chair right here at the center of the table for us to sit in and preside over the festivities. But as far as, you know, building skill and decoration, you can see things are slowly but slowly leveling up from where they used to be. So, here, it looks like an enchanting shop. I did try and go back here and make all these little shops have a theme to each other. We have the Mushroom Mart. Oh, they appear to sell mushrooms. I didn't get all of these done, though. These were supposed to be little storage areas. Off to the side over here, none of these chests have anything in them, if memory serves. I was just trying to sort of fill in a hole. What does that sign say? Royal Armory. The Royal something. Every other building here is the Royal something. So this was just another space. I was trying to do another colonnaded space back here with some pillars and everything, making everything nice and structural to hold things up. But once again, it's still nothing but stone bricks and spruce, as is the rest of the castle. There are quite a few buildings around here. If you want to download the world, I will leave you to explore all of those on your own. There is a main courtyard down here with views toward several buildings. A gateway off there. This building over here is a particular note. Of course, we have another very basic fountain back here. And up here, if memory serves, well, no. I thought that in this tower, somewhere at the top of this, there should have been a nether portal. Looks like I removed it at some point. This is where I put my first nether portal, actually. I wasn't sure what a nether portal was back then, but it looked like it was some sort of weird centerpiece object. So I put it in the top of this tower up here, but it wasn't long before I put it up there, I realized what it was, and that it was really inconvenient being up there, and I moved it somewhere. I really don't remember where it got put. But this is one of the first little towers I made over here. Another little tower over here. All these little towers, by the way, they've got little streets back down here for you to wander around and get lost in. I don't remember where they all go. I mean, there's sorts of little rooms off to the side here with absolutely nothing in them because they never got decorated. But that was my plan. I wanted to have all these little nooks and crannies in the castle filled with wonderful little rooms, all decorated out, them all having a particular theme to them and everything. We do have what? There's a little formal garden back here with a main fountain in it. That's sort of like a medieval cloister type area there. Over here we do have a large building here. I think this one had a sign. What do I call this? This was the Castle of the Knights of the Square Table. And if memory serves, there is a square table in the top here. Yep, there it is. Knights of the Square Table. 12 of those. Up there, of course, you know, it was Minecraft. I didn't know how to make round tables yet, so things had to be square. Back here, though, I did... at some point, I decided I really wanted an aqueduct into the city. But I decided that after I built all of this. So I had to sort of ram the aqueduct through here and clip off a couple of buildings until it went into the castle itself, where I wanted to have it feed into. We'll take a look at down the aqueduct in a moment. Over here we have another little tower design I was trying to make. Another early experiment in making a square base but have a round tower on top of it. It's not particularly round. I thought it was fairly round when I built it, though. Over here, though, this building here is of particular interest. This is my first attempt to do a good Roman basilica style of a church building. I think I called it, what, St. David's Basilica? So in here, of course, it being a basilica, we have a nice glowstone cross at the end. Some pillars along the aisle here. And our vault up there at the top. I think to be more accurate, that should be now a coffered ceiling. And everything. And these pillars should be further apart and have actual arches in them. But even here we can see my very early attempts with upside down stairs here to do what would later become my Corinthian columns that I always use everywhere. This is the very first example of those, I think. But otherwise, it's a very basic structure. Not particularly impressive. I was pleased with it at the time, though I thought it was absolutely enormous. But these days, it looks very dated, as does the entire world, being, as I've said, from 2013. So back here we have, let's talk about this aqueduct. So I really wanted to have an aqueduct. Down this aqueduct, I also wanted to be able to walk down it and have a boat that I could ride down the top of it up here. That never panned out because after I built it, I realized that you can't fit a boat down a one wide section, so that was kind of a waste. But I still want to have it filled with water because it was an aqueduct. And over here, we can see our aqueduct. It hops over this river here with a large arch, and then it immediately goes off into the distance here on a whole bunch of smaller arches over these ridge and furrow farm fields. So outside of my castle, of course, I needed to have some farm fields. I mean, of course you do. So back over here, I started to try and make farm fields. I didn't know anything about irrigation at the time, so you can see there's not a drop of water in this farm field. And I was mystified as to why I kept doing the hoe and making the farm fields, and they would just turn back to dirt and then grass, and the wheat would never grow. And it's of course because it's not irrigated. But that's another one of those things I just had to learn how to do. The same goes here for all of the melons and pumpkins. I couldn't figure out why these weren't growing in the rest of the fields, and that is because that they are all stems, and you should have every other one of these broken, and someday that they would actually grow like that, but they kept growing in the gates here. I'm like, why is that happening? So that shows you just how little I knew. This right here is my first sheep farm. Right here, a couple of black sheep in there. And over here is my first farm. We made a little barn over here and a little farmhouse. Right here, a very little farmhouse. And if we want to keep going down the road a little bit, I tried to make a grain silo over here, which I filled with sand because this is before we had the wheat block. Over here, this was, what do I call this? The sunshine greenhouse. Here we are. So I eventually figured out that crops needed water. So I did add some water over here and wheat began to grow. Of course, I'm still playing in creative mode, so I never came and harvested that because I didn't need to eat it. But if we want to continue down this particular road here, we can see the aqueduct on our right. And you will notice at various intervals along this road, I built guard towers. Because of course I did. We just had to have guard towers at various increments. So I called these the Great Southern Grasslands. They were off this way. Of course, the castle was this way. I wanted to have all these little signs in my world, by the way, on all these roads to let you know where everything was. I have yet to do this in my north world. It's on the list to do, but I need to do that someday. But I just had these little guard towers in here that you could climb up into. Say that if the sun was going down and you were caught out from your castle off there in the distance, that looks quite nice. But anyway, you could have a little guard tower that you could take refuge in from all the creepers and everything. Now over here we can see I was trying to cut a little river from that lake over there and make everything sort of line up. We have another back road over there that I didn't do anything with. Over here, of course, we have another guard tower. And this leads off to, where is it? Minehenge. And what we, Monolith Abbey that way, Loch Ness down that way. Not very original with some of these names, I know. But over here, of course, we have Minehenge. My attempt to do Stonehenge in Minecraft, my first attempt anyway. I do have a model of it. I haven't shown it yet, though. I've done something similar in my North world already for the arena that I have posted. And what was this up here? Monolith Abbey. Okay, so on this hill up here, we visit. We have a curious black monolith. I think I was going to construct a medieval abbey up here around this monolith, but excuse me, around this monolith. But that's another thing that I never did in this world. You can see I started clearing the grass and I made the road and everything. But I didn't do that. That's one of many things that, there's a lot of loose ends in this old world that I never did much with. Go down the end of the road, then we'll turn around and double back on some of that stuff. So down here, if we want to cross the bridge, we should come to Sunshine Village down that way. The Grey Havens down that way. And what was this place? Lakeside Chapel. So, of course, it's by the lake, and it's a little chapel. So we had just a little lakeside chapel. I think I named this little body of water Loch Ness. We can even see a monster in our loch. There we go. We'll call him Nessie. Back over this way, though, there was a Sunshine Village. We want to head out with this little road over here. I think there is something to see over here. So there was a ravine that I encountered with my road, and I didn't know what to do with it. So it was near a lake, so I dug it out over there, and I flooded the ravine, and I made this little arched bridge over the ravine here, so we could see that. This is one of the more impressive little features in this world. I was quite pleased with how that came out. But I did make this road that went all the way over here to this village that I found. This was the closest village to my castle, so I called it Sunshine Village because these people looked like they were quite nice. We have some what 8-year-old villagers here. They're still alive. That's amazing. That's probably because I think this world is in peaceful mode. I think I ever turned it on for survival. As I said, that was the first one of the commands I learned was to turn off survival. So this is just a peaceful building world for me. We can see, though, at this point right here, this is as far as the aqueduct got. Because at this point here, this is before I had tools like MC Edit or World Painter. So all of this you're seeing in this world, this was done block by block by hand. Which means that I went through and I planned out where all of the piers for the aqueduct were going to be. But I never actually built them because I had to do all of that by hand. It was kind of repetitive. I got a little bored with it, so I stopped doing that out here. But it was going to link up over here in this direction and just sort of end right here. I think perhaps I would have built a reservoir over here someday. But we see a couple more guard towers. And over here, our road went through a tunnel. And then it came out here at the end of the line. There was another, and this is the other side of the continent, pretty much. So we had water stretching out over there. So I just called this the Grey Havens. And I did try and make a little waterfall over here, by the way. So one of my first little terraforming features I tried to do with this little waterfall. I took a bunch of TNT and I went through here. And I tried to blow the entire thing out like this here, to create one of those little effects where we have the waterfall, but then we have a big cave behind the waterfall, like you have here. And we even have my little campsite back here as well, just a little tent, and a little campfire. So it's of course just burning netherrack. I better put that out before it sets my tent on fire. Back then I did not know that another rack would do that. This is way before we had campfires in our worlds. But I really did like this Extreme Hills section that I found down here, and my plan was at the other end of the aqueduct, I was going to build a castle, another castle, on top of these peaks down here that you see. But as you can see, there's no castle up here. So I never got around to doing that. And that is all there is to see on that end of the world. I think I've covered that in detail. I never did anything off in that direction over there. There's some more stuff I passed up that we're going to now double back and take a look at, though. Right here, coming up, you can see my very first attempt at doing a Roman villa. So if you've done my more recent Roman villa tutorial, you may see some resemblance. The plan is not too dissimilar in some respects, but this is my very first attempt at doing it. And what did I call this? Lawn Villa. I must have been playing a lot of Zelda at the time. So here, of course, we have a nice little fountain in the middle. A very early attempt at doing some formal gardens. Here at the front, some fields over to the side, and of course our main villa building here. With of course the main house and a few small wings on either side. But if we go inside, we can of course see not much. I was trying to do some nice Roman mosaic floor patterns, but this is way before we had glazed terracotta. So all I did was I just placed down some obsidian and some netherrack. Not real good for that. But if we go out the back here, we can see that I think I called it Lawn Villa because this was going to be my cow farm. Had all my cows over here. I tried to make a little barn over here as well. As you can see, same typical style with the stone bricks and the spruce. And I think that is it for that villa. I did try to enclose the back of it with some walls back there because I didn't want my cows to escape. I think I was going to have some horses over there as well. But that was as far as that particular project went. But I think you can agree that the newer Roman villa is quite a lot nicer than this particular model here. If we head back to our farm and look over in this direction, we can see something I built just outside the castle walls. And out here, this was, it's probably written on that sign. What do I call this? The Southern Forest Road, the Fens of Despair. Yeah, I was very sad about that swamp. The Rural Tilt Yard, here it is. Of course, a tilt yard is the medieval term for a jousting arena. And of course, they called it that because you tilt your lances down at each other and charge, so that's why they called it that. But if we go over here, of course, we can see we have a place out here for you to joust with your friends at. Some stands back here for the peasants to come see the festivities, and of course, some nice stands up here for the nobility. And of course, a nice chair up here for the royalty to view the stands as well. So we could sit here and take in a nice day of jousting with our castle in the background. I thought it was a nice place to put that. I tried to dress it up with a couple of towers on either end and a big tower back there in the middle. Of course, everything in this world has a very basic white and blue flag. They're not at all attempted to sort of be flowing in the breeze. I suppose if we knocked out a couple of blocks, that would probably look better than just having the straight ones. But this is way before I knew how to do anything like that. Up here, though, I think we did have a couple of tents for the competitors. This was Sir Robin of Locksley. He's favored to win, I think. Over here, who do we have on this tent? Sir Wilfred of Ivanhoe. He might do well. Over here, we have Sir Ethelred the Unready. Don't want to put a bet down on him. Who do we have over here? Sir Bohemond of Aquitaine. He was a pickle. Over here we have Sir Geoffroy de Charnay. I believe he wrote a nice little book about chivalry. And who do we have back here? Sir Robert the Guiscard. He was quite the adventurer. Want to give him a wide berth. What do you have over here? The tournament stables. With, of course, I believe all the horses are long since gone. There used to be some in here with the armor and everything. What do we have over here? Sir Roland of Castile. And I think that is all the tents, actually. I should have put one down for the Black Knight somewhere, but I don't think I did. I think we have explored everything in this section. There are a few more things to take a look at in this world here, though. And let's go over in this direction, because we took a look at the True Shot archery range there. But there is over here a guard tower. We keep going down this really straight road and extend it off into the distance there. Through this forest, we can see the thing that I built over here. And it looks like I was going to build another guard tower over there that I never did. Another one down here. I was going to do these at regular intervals because I want to have nice little guard towers all up and down my road to sort of patrol and secure the area. But over here, we do have a lakeside house that I made, sort of a fortified house. What did I call this thing? Fishbourne Manor is what I call this place. Good British name for that. Of course, this house here, it's patterned after an actual house. After Augustus Pugin's The Grange. His house. I quite like the design. I've always meant to do an updated design of this. But as you can see again, it's quite asymmetrical, but it's got all spruce and stone bricks on it. The main feature of this house, though, is it's one of the first modern houses that was built with the interior in mind and the exterior done second. In other words, the exterior was done as an afterthought because the entire house was arranged after the interior. And if we walk around in this house, we can see even in this state here, it has a nice little flow to it. We have all the central stairs here, the main rooms here. Everything is nice and accessible. It's easy to get around in this house. And that is why that was done. And place the door. I think the door was over here. It's been quite a while since I visited this house. I haven't done anything in this world since I left it, which was probably in about late 2013. And it was about that time that I discovered MC Edit and World Painter, and I stopped building in this world completely. And I started making ever more complex and elaborate custom worlds, one after the other. The final product of which is my Building Norath series that you can see today. But this world here is where all of that got its beginning. And there is one more thing we want to take a look at here in this world. And for the last part today, it was roughly 3,052 days ago that I stood at this spot right here to begin recording my very first Minecraft video. And I still have that video, and I'm going to include it at the tail end of this recording here so you can see it in its entirety. So you can have a window back on things so you can see just how far, or how not far at all, I have come in the intervening 8 years. But before I play that, I want to remind you that this world here will be available for download in the video description. So you can come here and take a look at this very ancient Minecraft world for yourself if you want to go and explore it. There isn't a whole lot more to see beyond what I showed you, but there are a few little nooks and crannies I may have missed that you might want to poke into. However, as I said, for the remainder of this video from this point here, I'm going to add to the video and play for you my very first Minecraft video that I made 3,052 days ago from today. And I hope that you will enjoy it as a good old-fashioned nostalgic piece of Minecraft history. Hi there, and welcome to Medieval Minecraft. This is a new series I'm making that will feature castle building in a persistent realm. The building style will be straight from the Middle Ages, but with a touch of fantasy here and there where it looks good. In this world, I'm going to build and expand on my ancestral castle, which we're headed down the road to take possession of right now. But as time goes on, I will build smaller satellite castles in our realm, complete with a road network and farms, villages, monasteries, etc., etc. If it was in the Middle Ages, I will probably build it at some point. Also, to make things more interactive, in later episodes I will start a small subscriber graveyard. where if you sub and leave me a comment asking for it, I will set up a tombstone with a sign for you so you can be part of the world, at least in spirit. In future seasons, though, I will branch out to the horizon and build things from all time periods. But for now, we have a castle to explore. And, I don't see anybody. I see some more signs, though. Welcome to Castle Durakar. Check your weapons with the Lady of the Lake. The Lady of the Lake? Is there a lady in that lake? You see her? I don't see her. Oh well, I'm sure a wooden sword, that hardly counts as a weapon, surely. Enchanted Castle. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. Huh. Well, my name isn't Will Robinson, but Danger is my middle name. Oh man, I'm sorry. That was a terrible joke. I have to apologize for that one. So, since the door is closed and this is Minecraft, we will just break through the blocks. And we only need a couple of blocks to get in, so we'll leave the rest of them for now. And oh, what do we got here? Oh, it's a trap. Ah, yep, definitely a trap. Huh? Oh man, I fell in my own trap. That's very ironic. How am I gonna get out now? Well, fortunately, we've got a couple of blocks with us. So, we'll get out that way. Oh, okay, here we are. Looks like we're in the lower Bailey. A nice fountain there, some flowers. I don't see anyone, though. Oh, Iron Hammer's blacksmith. Is Mr. Iron Hammer at home? Hello? Hello? Anybody at home? Nope. Furnace is cold. Nope, nobody in the... Hey, wait a minute. Where's the roof? Huh. It looks like it must have fallen in. That's not good. We'll have to come back and fix that. Let's look at all these houses here. Nope. We got some trees growing. I don't see anybody here. Bell out of order. Please knock. Okay. Knock, knock, knock. Oh, another trap. Oh dear, a lava trap. Let's make sure not to fall in that one. Looks like the portcullis is still up. And here we are in the upper Bailey. Lots of weeds. Epona's stables. I wonder if Epona is at home. Nope. Nobody in the stables. No horses either, too. I have to walk everywhere. I'd turn back if I were you. Well, you're not me. And I never turn back. I mean, why should I turn back? What could possibly hurt me in Minecraft? So it looks like we've got the Great Hall here. And, oh, the Great Hall has a lot of holes in the roof, too. You know, this whole place seems to be quite run down. I wonder what happened here. Where is everyone? Don't see a soul. I told you to turn back, but does anyone listen? No. Well, why should I listen to you? You're just a sign on the wall. I mean, come on. This is my castle after all. I mean, who put up these signs anyway? What? What was that? Oh well, I'm sure it was nothing. Oh, kind of dark in here. Really dark in here. Let's put out some torches so we can see what we're doing. Fortunately, I brought a couple with me. And, oh, well, we have found the bathroom, so we might need that later. Let's see. Nope, nobody back here. I think that goes out to the walls. And, oh, stairs. Oh. A spiral staircase. Well, as spiral as you can get in Minecraft anyway, right? Oh. We got a nice little room here. Oh, yeah, this is cool. Well, we can see out to the forest, to our future realm. It looks peaceful, although it might be deceiving in that respect. Oh, more stairs. This is, what, the second floor? Yeah. Oh, a sign. Croatan. Croatan? Croatan what? What does that even mean? That's not a clue. Huh. Well, let's see. Place more torches. Light this place up so nothing spawns when nighttime comes. Well, it looks like the floors in here appear to be in good shape. Still don't see anybody though. And Ooh, another clue. Rosebud. Rosebud? What kind of a clue is that? I mean, really, who put up these clues? Look in the other room here. I'm right behind you. Ah! What? What? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. What? What? Just kidding. If I ever find the guy that put up these signs. Goodness. That was not funny at all. You almost scared me to death. Let's see. I think there's more levels to go, so we'll go upstairs and see what's there. Hopefully, it will answer the mystery as to why no one is in this castle. It's completely abandoned. Oh, here it is. The Great Hall. The top of the tower with more holes in the roof. I really have to fix the roofs. I mean, if it ever rains here, I'm going to be in serious trouble. So, let's see. We got the final sign. The last clue is 42. 42. Okay. That's really profoundly unhelpful. I have no idea what that means. Uh-oh. It looks like it's beginning to get dark. And this is Minecraft, so you know what that means. It means it's time to frantically place torches and seal yourself off. And hope we find something more sturdy in here than a wooden sword. Ooh. A storage area with chests. Ooh. We have our ancestral armor. Wow, we better grab that and put it on. Slightly rusty. Awesome. Iron sword and a pick. We're definitely going to need that. Let's put this wooden one away. Store those signs and get dressed. Cool. We are all armored up. Awesome. The last block of the sun going down. And over here we have the castle archive. Ah. We'll have to read in there later. Maybe we can find out exactly what happened here. Let's go, looks like we can go on the roof. Oh, we can see everything from up here. We better not fall. That'd be profoundly bad if we fell right now. Let's we got some wood with us, so let's go ahead and fix the roof. Keep all the bugs out at night. Can't have that. And it looks like the castle is dark beneath us. Not one single light down there. We appear to be the only soul in this vast, imposing place. I wonder what mysteries lie within that we will discover. Find out next time on Medieval Minecraft. So I hope you enjoyed that blast from the past and having a tour of my very first Minecraft world. And at the end here, I would like to individually thank all 10,000 of you that have clicked subscribe on my humble channel over these years. I've always been very passionate about building history and architecture and things, and I sort of use Minecraft as my medium to express all these things. And I try and get that across in all of my videos to add value to the things that I build, so that hopefully you can build all these things in your own world and get some more value out of doing that than you might otherwise have. But I am very grateful and humbled that you have chosen to subscribe to my small potato channel here, because there are a lot more things that I want to build and produce for you. But to celebrate the milestone, I wanted to come back to my original world here and show it to you firsthand and talk about it for a little while, so that you can see just where everything got started. Because in this world, we've seen the beginnings of my Roman temple down there, of course, the medieval styles here, Roman villas back over there, aqueducts, and all sorts of things that I have built more updated and better models of. But if time allows, there's a lot more things that I want to get started building and produce for you. So with all that said, I want to thank you very, very much for watching. And I will see you next time.